Hi, my name is Alex Alonso, and the title of my novel is Playlist for the Dead by Michelle Falcoff. The character I chose to do is Sam, and a summary of my novel is that sorry, basically, two best friends, Hayden and Sam. Hayden just committed suicide, and all he left for Sam was a note that said, "For Sam, listen and you'll understand," with a playlist of 27 songs that basically described how he felt, his emotions, and throughout the novel, Sam is trying to figure out why Hayden, his best friend, his only friend, has committed suicide, and he finds out a lot of things that he had no idea that Hayden felt or like that he did. And throughout the novel, in some part of the novel, he meets this girl named Astrid that really impacted his life. She helped him get distracted, and he also found out a lot of things about her, and she was one of the reasons that Hayden committed suicide. And that was because, okay, so basically Hayden was a very lonely and insecure boy, just like Sam, and they didn't really talk to anyone. And so Hayden started talking to this girl on this game that he really enjoyed playing, this video game, and he meets this girl from his school, and they plan to meet up one day. And Astrid thought they were perfect for each other, so she helped Jess talk to him through the game. And Jess was also a girl that was really shy, just like Hayden. And Astrid thought they were perfect for each other, and so basically she sets them up on a date to a party. And when they get to the party, Ryan, which is Hayden's brother, bullied the hell out of Hayden. And every time he saw Hayden looking happy, he would destroy the reason why he was happy and make his life miserable. So Ryan found out that Hayden had been talking to this girl and that he was gonna meet her at this big party that a girl from their school had hosted. And he found that out, and basically when Jess arrives to the party, she arrives earlier than Hayden does, and Ryan finds her there, and he's like, "Oh well, Hayden told me to send you this message. Like, he said you're really ugly, like that he would never want to talk to you, and that just to never talk to him again, and that he was not gonna show up to the party, and he didn't want to see her." But Hayden was on his way. Ryan just wanted to ruin his life. And so Jess left really mad, and she texted him that night saying like, "I don't know why you would do this. You're the worst person ever. I never want to talk to you again." And Hayden had no idea, right? He showed up to the party, and then his brother Ryan beat him up too, just making his life even worse. And so basically after that, Ryan shows Hayden the message that Jess had sent him, saying like that he was like the worst person ever, but Hayden had no idea why. And so basically he went home that night and just decided to end things because of how miserable he was, of how miserable people made him in his life. And that is basically why Hayden had committed suicide. And when Sam figures that out at the end of the novel, he accepts it, goes to therapy for a couple of years, and then tries to just continue with his life. And that's just how the novel ends. And the character traits I chose for Sam are humble, insecure, and vengeful. It would be a betrayal to admit how lonely I was. Falcoff 156, insecure.
I would hate to admit how lonely I was, how I was too insecure to make new friends and to talk to new people because I was afraid of being judged and bullied. Maybe if I would have just told Hayden from the start that I was also very lonely he would be here now. But why? Why am I like this? Astrid just invited me to her table. And I can't go sit with her. What if her friends judge me? What if her friends begin to bully me? That's the least thing I want right now. She also invited me to this party. I can't go to the party. Hayden went to a party and look where he is now. He's dead. He's gone. Do I want to be gone too?
There was no way I could let this happen. All the anger I'd been feeling, the urge to find someone responsible and hit them as hard as I could, boiled in me. I walked up to Ryan and tapped him on the shoulder. Falkov 20, vengeful.
Ryan? Oh crap. No. Why is Ryan going up there? No, I can't believe this. No. Ryan and his close friends going up to the line to give a speech at Hayden's funeral. They were the ones that made Hayden's life a living hell. Made it so miserable. They beat him up, they bullied him. No. I can't take this. No. There's no way I'm gonna let this happen. I'd be a terrible friend if I let his brother, the one who bullied the hell out of him, give a speech about what a great brother he was. No, I can't let this happen. No.
Found most of the furniture at secondhand stores. Falkov 121, humble.
Hayden loved coming here. Although my house was nothing like his. His house looked rich, modern, full of technology. In my house, all our furniture is from the secondhand store. And I have none of the things he has. But Hayden loves coming here. Although my house was very humble, this was the only place he felt comfortable in. And I would much rather prefer to be comfortable in my poor and humble house than be miserable in his rich and modern house.
One of my artifacts is the letter. This letter contained the last thing that Hayden wrote to his best friend Sam before he died. It was a letter that said, "For Sam, listen and you'll understand." And in this letter, Hayden was basically telling Sam to listen to the playlist that he left with 27 songs, and he'll understand why he committed suicide. This letter was very important to Sam, and because it's what he saw right after his friend. He saw that his friend was dead, and it just changes how Sam is, and he starts to realize a lot of things that he didn't know before because of this letter that contained the playlist. Another artifact that is important to this character is the Intergalactic Trading Company, which is a store where only like the nerdy kids hung out in, which was in the other side of their mall, and in the other side like all the popular kids hung out. And since he wasn't very popular, Sam used to hang out in that store, and he met a very important character that impacted his life too, which was Astrid there, and that is where he began to speak to her, and that is where they used to go sometimes to like look at things and like I guess, like chill or hang out. And that spot was very important to Sam because that is where he also used to go after school with Hayden, and they used to like, that used to be like their comfort spot in the public, where they knew that the popular kids wouldn't go to, and they felt safe there. Another artifact was the laptop that Hayden's mom decided to take to Sam after a couple of weeks after Hayden's death. This laptop was extremely important to Sam. It was a huge reason that Sam found out why Hayden had committed suicide. In this laptop, it was a struggle for him to get in at first, but after a couple of tries and after Astrid helped in figuring out the password, he got in, and he realized that not only did he get bullied in school, but he got a lot of the bullying and a lot of the reasons he was insecure in his own house. His parents used to call him names, tell him that he was gonna be no one in life, and just bring him down like really bad. And then in school, it was even worse with his brother and all these things. And Sam got to know a lot of how Hayden was through his laptop, through reading through his emails, through his messages, and listening to the things he used to put. And he just gained a lot of knowledge from how Hayden really felt and what he used to do. Another item that was important to Sam was the game Mage Warfare, which is how he interacted with Hayden when he was still alive. That is what they did in their free time, and they always played that. And that is a game that is really important to Sam because that is what keeps him distracted, even though it reminds him of Hayden after his death. And he also notices that this game was really important to Hayden because this is where he used to talk to the girl, which made it important to him. Another important item to Sam was the flash drive that Hayden left behind, because that is what included the 27 songs. And without that flash drive, he wouldn't have had the 27 songs. And that flash drive impacted Sam a lot, obviously, because he found out a lot of how Hayden felt, and he noticed that he didn't really know Hayden as well as he thought he knew him. I can connect to my character, Sam, in the way that his best friend committed suicide, and he spent a lot of time after the suicide trying to figure out why his best friend Hayden had killed himself, because he never really saw anything wrong in him, and it shocked him that after he died, he actually realized how like insecure and lonely he felt. And I can connect to this character because my dad, like Hayden, also has depression, and I can connect to Sam in the way that my dad has had depression since his late 20s, early 30s, and he's currently 44, 45, one of those, I'm not too sure, but my dad has thought of committing suicide before, multiple times. He's run out of the house super anxious, super like wanting to end everything. He's felt insecure and like, I guess, like just sad and feeling like people judged him, and like he just felt like he wasn't like right for this world, if that makes sense. Like he just didn't want to be here anymore. He felt like nobody like cared for him and things like that. And I can connect to Sam because he was very sad and very just like confused when he found out how Hayden really felt. And I was also like that because whenever my dad tells me stories of how sad he felt and how lonely he thought he was, like, you know, I get really sad, obviously, because he's my dad. He's like my best friend, and yeah, I connect to Sam because if my dad were to have done something, I would be just as lost as Sam was trying to figure out why his best friend committed suicide.